guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome to this Days in My Life vlog. I'm not gonna lie, I'm starting this Days in the Life vlog very tired. Today is a Tuesday and I am solo parenting for most of the day today, which is not really a big deal. It's something that I do often. My husband has been out of the house since 7 a.m. this morning and he's got meetings tonight, so he's not going to be back until like 10 or 11. So I've just been with the kids all day, and generally my strategy on days like this is to be outside for like most of the day. So we did go to a really cute kind of like pumpkin patch place this morning. It was actually a Christmas tree farm, but they like jazzed it up for October and for fall. So I had the kids there and it was fun. Like, it was a really cute and like fun experience for all of us, but my patience has just been tested today more times than I can count. And as you can see, I did not drink really any of my coffee this morning. So we're going the iced route this afternoon, but it is just after 2 p.m. and that means that it is quiet time in our house. It's not really happening today. It's quiet right now, but probably not for long. Both of them were really tired coming home from the pumpkin patch and they fell asleep for like 3 minutes in the car. And if you have kids, you know that 3 minutes is basically the equivalent of like a 3-hour deep sleep for toddlers. They just decide that they don't need any other sleep for the rest of the day. So I'm trying to like drop the expectations right now because I am currently just like so tired and ready for a break, but I also know that that's probably not really gonna happen today. Update, everybody is asleep, and instead of cleaning and doing anything on my to-do list, I'm gonna sit here and enjoy the banana bread that I made because I need to conserve my energy for the rest of this night. I had such mixed feelings about being at a Christmas tree farm this morning because obviously they're growing all of their Christmas trees. As much as it was like decorated for fall, there was still very much Christmas vibes everywhere. There's trees growing, there's like Christmas decor inside their little shop. I, at this point of the year, always find that I get to this point where it feels like a fight to not like wish away fall and like want Christmas to come, because don't get me wrong, I am like the ultimate Christmas lover, and by mid-October usually it takes like everything within me to not want to like fast forward fall and Halloween and just like dive into Christmas mode. But I don't know, this year I feel like I'm just savoring it more. Where we are, it has been a really warm fall. It's just been so beautiful outside. Like, a huge part of me just knows that with Christmas comes winter and that it's going to be just a totally different reality when it comes to like what my days look like with the kids, because we get quite a bit of snow here, and having like a 3-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a baby, it's just gonna be a lot more challenging to get out the door for like good outside time. And so I'm not rushing away the fall right now. I also feel like we've just done so many fun fall activities like pumpkin patches and apple picking, hay rides, and we've just like done everything on the fall bucket list, and it's all been so fun. And I'm not quite ready to dive into Christmas mode yet, but don't quote me on that because by the time Halloween is over, I'm probably gonna go full send. Okay, I'm sorry, I just had 3 of the like most jarring things happen back to back to back there. First of all, Rosie woke up screaming and it sounded like something was literally happening to her. So I went into the room to pick her up, then came out here and my camera died, and then the doorbell rang and I opened the door and oh my gosh, I feel like I just have like a shiver down my spine still. There is like this woman, and like, Lord bless her, I don't know what the story is, I don't know what the full situation is, and I'm curious. I want to get to know more because I'm sure that her intentions are not like bad, but there have just been like a number of weird situations that have happened where she's like come to our house and has just like lingered at the door for long periods of time, like asking very personal questions and asking us for things like in our house or on our property. And so every time I just struggle so hard because I'm like, I want to be kind to you and like so sweet, but also like this is so uncomfortable for me. We came home one day recently and there was like this thing on our porch from her with like a little message on it. I'm not gonna get into too many details. Basically, she was asking us for something and like asking us if we could please put it in a bag for her, and like wrote her name and her number and everything. And so anyway, we were like, this is weird. There's just like something very uncomfy about someone that you don't really know coming onto your property, especially when you're not there. Anyway, she just came to our house and rang the doorbell and she was like, you were on vacation. And I didn't want to say yes because I didn't want to like make it seem like we were not around our house, but she's like, I came by and I saw that there was like like a number of packages that were like here on your porch that had accumulated. And I just like felt so violated and didn't know what to say to her. But she's like, do you have those items for me that I requested? And I'm like, you have got to go right now. I did not say that, but it took everything in me to be like, I'm sorry, like we don't have anything. I hope you have a good day, and kind of like keeping the conversation going, because she literally will just like stand there and stare at me. And I don't know, this is like the weirdest thing ever. I need to tell my husband that that just happened. She is gone now, we are safe. I don't think that there is like any actual threat here. I think that she's like literally sweet, but just kind of like not fully with it. Anyway, before all of that, I don't even know what I was saying. So it is the next day, and today is just like ultimate cozy vibes, because I feel like it is just kind of a nice overcast gloomy fall day, which you guys know I love. We are having some people over tonight to do like a little movie night after the kids go to bed. So later this afternoon I've decided I'm going to whip up some of my favorite soup, because I feel like there's just something so good about the vibes of doing a fall themed movie night and then having a really good cozy soup to share. So that is on this afternoon's agenda. But speaking of cozy, I wanted to show you guys a couple of pieces that I just got from this company called Organic Basics. I'm actually working with them on today's video, and they have the coziest pieces. I'm currently wearing them head to toe right now. If you have never heard of Organic Basics before, they are a Copenhagen based brand, and they are carbon neutral. So their whole focus is on sustainability, and they create everyday essentials for your wardrobe, things like loungewear, literally just basics that you can mix and match, underwear, activewear. But because sustainability is so important to the brand, all of their clothing is ethically made with organic, recycled, and eco-friendly materials, which I think is so cool. Being postpartum for the third time, I feel like I am in this stage now of kind of reinventing my wardrobe, and I have an opportunity to be very strategic and intentional about the items that I bring in. And I love that the pieces from Organic Basics are high quality, but I can also feel good about investing in who they are as a brand as well. So let's do a cozy little Organic Basics haul, shall we? First of all, in the bra department, I feel like I've basically needed to start over because I had a million different sizes and it was just feeling like nothing was actually fitting. I grabbed one of Organic Basics Soft Touch bras. This is a new product from them. It is supportive, it is high coverage, it is almost like a bralette but with a little bit more support. There are 0 wires here, which is something that is very important to me in the bras that I choose. And I think one of the coolest things about this one is that it is made from a sustainable fabric called Tencel Lyocell. They actually use wood chips to make this. So this bra is actually plant-based, which I think is just the coolest thing. So I also got a number of things from their True Knit collection, which I would describe as kind of like elevated loungewear. Everything is 100% GOT certified organic cotton, so it is so soft and so cute. I'm actually fully decked out in the True Knit collection right now. The top that I'm wearing is the sleeveless turtleneck. It is a ribbed cropped turtleneck. I think it looks really good with a high-waisted pant, but it's also one of those pieces that you could elevate or also just wear it very casually like I'm wearing right now. I got this one in the shade Soft Vanilla, and I have paired it with their wide leg pants that are also knit, also in the color Soft Vanilla. These pants are so cozy. I will be living in these this fall and winter. It does feel a little bit more put together than just like hanging out around the house in pajamas, so I'm really liking this set. Quick outfit change. Now I am wearing the True Knit cardigan in the color Slate. I feel like this cardigan just fits in all of the right places. It is so lightweight because of the cotton, but it also is just snug and flattering. Honestly, most cardigans I feel like are just like a little bit boxier, and that can be cute sometimes too, but if you just want a really nice form-fitting cardigan that you can feel relaxed in but also wear out, this is a really, really good one. I also grabbed Organic Basics ribbed crop tank top in the same color as the cardigan to wear under this, but also to just like have it as a layering piece in my wardrobe. It has that same kind of snug form-fitting feeling around the waist, so it is super comfy for like everyday wear at home. But again, I will be using it as a layering piece a lot of the time to just stay cozier in the winter. So last but not least, this is the True Knit sweater in almond. It has ribbed cuffs, a nice open knit neckline. It is just so soft, so comfortable. It's oversized, but it still feels incredibly really lightweight. This is the sweater of fall and winter for me. I have gotten so many compliments on it when I have worn it out. I've been styling it with jeans, with wide leg black pants, but when I have just been hanging out at home with my husband, I have been pairing it with the matching rib shorts, also in almond. These shorts are so cute and comfy. I love the little like drawstring at the top here, and if you like to be comfy at home and kind of just want to get into your pajamas at the end of the day, but you also feel like your loungewear maybe isn't so cute, you're sick of just wearing your husband's t-shirts. Speaking to myself there, I think it's so fun to grab a couple of different pieces from them in the same color and wear it almost like a lounge set. I know that my husband has definitely been appreciating this kind of upgrade on my PJs. Speaking of the husband's, Organic Basics does sell men's clothing as well. I got him this long sleeve black shirt from their everyday collection. I just had to pull this from the laundry room because he's already been wearing it so much. He loves how lightweight it is, how comfy the material is. So if you have a hard time shopping for your husband, I think you guys could find some really nice things for them on there as well. If you guys are interested in checking out Organic Basics and treating yourself to some new cozy knitwear or everyday wear for fall and winter, I do have a discount with them. So all you have to do is head to the link in my description box and use the code BethM10 at checkout to save 10% off on your order. Again, that code is BethM10 at checkout. Thank you so much to Organic Basics for working with me on today's video. Hello. I am currently leaning over the island in our kitchen trying to like hold my camera upright because my tripod is in the room that one of our kids is sleeping in and I don't want to wake her up going in to get it, but I also still don't have a vlog camera, so I'm holding my like massive camera, and every time I try and like hold it up just using my arms, I feel like they're literally gonna fall off. So this is me trying to like balance this so that I'm not shaking all over the place while I try to film. But we just got back from the fall market. I love that place so much. Every single time we drive up, I feel like my heart is just so full. It is so cozy. It's so magical. I go every single year with the kids and my friend Brittany. So we went there this morning and just walked around and looked at everything, took some photos, and got a couple of fall treats. I picked up this pumpkin sandwich bread that the kids and I already dove into for lunch today, and it was so good. I also grabbed a couple of pecan butter tarts and then some squash because I want to make a butternut squash soup tonight. I have just been on a soup kick recently. And then then because tomorrow is our Sabbath, oh, we have a rollaway squash. I grabbed this 1,000-piece puzzle that is modeled after the market that we were at this morning. Jared has been wanting to get into puzzles recently. It's just something that we can do kind of for fun together as a family. Obviously more so as our kids are older, given that this is 1,000 pieces. But I thought that this one would be special just because it is like a significant place for our family. So that is what we have been up to today. Both of the girls are home and asleep right now. Jared is actually out with Jude for an appointment. So I'm gonna start making this soup and we will see how this turns out. I've never actually made butternut squash soup before. I've made butternut squash, but I have not turned it into soup. So I'm curious to see how challenging it is.
I got the squash.
I'm cutting the squash. There we go. I heard a crack. That's a good sign.
I hear crack.
Woo, there he is.
It's a watermelon.
You think it's like watermelon? It reminds me of a pumpkin.
It's a watermelon. It's like a watermelon.
Woohoo!
You open this. It's a watermelon. Watermelon. It's a watermelon. It's a squash.
It's a squash.
It's a watermelon.
So I just bought a new hair tool and I thought that I would share my first impressions of it with you guys, like as I unbox it. Basically, my hair looks like this 90% of the time. This is what it air dries to. It is very wavy, but unless I put a lot of product in it, it's also very frizzy, and I feel like it has gotten wavier and frizzier, but also somehow flatter at the root since I have had babies. It has been like the weirdest thing, but my hair texture has changed a lot over time. And one of the things that I've wanted to do for a very long time is get better at creating that like blowout look at home, but I'm really not good at doing it with a round brush and a blow dryer. And I also am not going to shell out hundreds and hundreds of dollars for a Dyson Airwrap. That is just like not a priority for me. When I went and got my hair done, I was kind of talking to my stylist about the woes of my blowout journey, because she's like, you could get a blow dry brush, but my thing with that is that I usually shower at night because I shower most of the time when our kids are already down, and it's too loud for me to turn on a blow dryer at that time of night, so I often just let my hair air dry and then style it the next day. What's going on out there? But basically, she was telling me that there is this thing that exists now that is called a thermal brush. So it's not a blow dry brush that you use from wet. It is a brush that you can use to create blowouts when your hair is already dry, which for me is best case scenario because I'm thinking that it will be less loud and I can still shower at night and style my hair the next morning. So I got this thermal brush duo from Bondi Boost. I think this is like a sale with Sephora right now because I was also able to get like a heat protectant spray from them in here. I've never tried anything from this brand before. I have heard good experiences from other people though. Okay, so it goes up to 275 to 450 Fahrenheit. I feel like I have a lightsaber. It's supposed to have like infrared technology. I don't know actually what that means, but it looks cool. And you can kind of see here right now, that is it showing you that it's heating up and like getting to the temperature I've set it to. So let's try this heat protectant spray. Hi, Rosie. It smells really good. Okay, I don't know if this is better to do in sections. I honestly am going into this experience completely blind. I haven't like watched a video or anything, I've just read the review. So I'm gonna start by brushing my hair out a little bit. And then maybe I'll just like section some of the pieces off while I try it. If this can work for my hair to give me a blowout look, it can probably work on anyone's. I don't know how long you have to hold it. I'm basically just going over the same spot a few times. Definitely smoothing it really nicely. Like that piece feels way smoother than it did before. Not to be dramatic, but I think that this just changed my life. I know this is the first time that I've used it, and so I'm probably gonna pick things up as I go in terms of like how to do it best, but I will say it's not like the fastest thing in the world. It probably takes just about as much time as I would have had to do if I was like blow drying it. But I have found that the best way to do it, like to get the smoothest effect, is to go in really small sections, and that's probably why it's taking me longer, is because I have like so much hair. But overall, this is definitely the closest that my hair has ever come to like a salon quality blowout at home. If any of you guys are interested, I will put a link in the description box of this video. I got mine in Canada and it was $135 for the set, so it might even be less in the US, but I feel like this is the perfect Christmas gift. Hello. I never film in my room because I can see myself in the reflection of my mirror, and it always like is so trippy and makes my brain hurt. I feel like that gives me just enough space that I can sit here and not be like visible through the mirror. It has been a couple of days now since I have filmed anything in this vlog. I'm obviously still very much loving my blow dry brush. This is my second time now air drying and then using the blowout brush and leaving it for a couple of days. But it has been a busy few days over here. I'm trying to even just like remember what has been going on. We have been doing a lot more hosting this fall. I feel like now that Rosie has gotten better and her night times are not so crazy, or her bedtimes were like 2 to 3 hours long, and it was like witching hour all night, every single night with her colic. And so there was a good chunk of time there that I just needed a solid break from hosting, because it was really challenging to try and coordinate people and food and meal and all of that while also still trying to like be present for her. And I couldn't do it all, so I didn't. And I took a break from consistent hosting for a while, but now that she is doing better, and because hosting is something that I love so much, we've been having a lot more people back over to our house. We actually are having people over in a couple of hours to have dinner with us too. So that has made things full. Work just gets a lot more full for creators around this time of year as well, with like the holidays approaching. And in all of that, I have been thinking a lot recently about rest and my personal relationship with rest, what God's picture of rest looks like for our lives, but also in like the season of motherhood. I will be the first to say that I really struggle with rest. I've never been good at it. I definitely do fall into the camp of people that have a hard time with resting and can often also associate it with like guilt. And oftentimes when I do take those moments of rest, I can struggle with feeling like there's something else I should be or could be doing to further something else forward, whether that's our household or my work or our life. And I know that there are so many reasons why I do that, and that people can kind of like default to that in general, but it doesn't mean that it's a good thing. And I have always wanted to kind of like fight against that, especially now as I model what it looks like to live a healthy life to my kids and want to get better at modeling what rest looks like. And so there's a couple of things that I've changed recently, and just in the way that my life and our lives as a family are structured, to kind of like fight for that rest and make it more of a priority. The first thing is that in terms of like my own personal workload, I've dropped it significantly. There's a number of things that I have been doing outside of YouTube and like what you guys see here for years, like running a freelance marketing business and having clients where I do like all of the marketing for their business, and essentially like I am their marketing team, and I have loved doing that for years. I love marketing, but I've just found that over time it has felt like more of a burden than anything else to try and balance that workload with the workload that comes with motherhood and our house and with what I do here on YouTube. And it's also not the thing that I feel like lights me up inside or that I'm passionate about. If anything, it's like being able to connect with you guys here and to share motherhood and homemaking and marriage and faith and all of that stuff together. And so with that in mind, I've just like really decided to pare down a lot of the work that I do. I still have a couple of clients, but the workload is going to be so much smaller than it has been in the past. And even just like making that switch has taken such a mental load off of me. And I have found that like there are now opportunities at quiet times and in the evenings where I can like actually just sit and rest and do something that is just meant to like refuel me instead of just like getting work across the line. And it sounds silly that I was even like operating that way to begin with, but I don't know. I feel like we can all just get into patterns and ways of living where it doesn't feel like there's a way out of the things that we have on our plate. And so this is just your reminder that you actually get to choose what your life looks like. And if you're feeling really stressed out about what's going on, like maybe it's time to reshuffle some stuff. That is the first change that we made. The second change that Jared and I made is actually to introduce a Sabbath. If you are unfamiliar with the concept of Sabbath, basically it is a biblical principle of rest and prioritizing rest throughout your week. A lot of people over history have considered Sunday to be like the day of Sabbath and of rest, where you go to church and then you just kind of relax, and that's what it looks like for your family. For our family, being a family in ministry, Sundays are very full on days, and so they haven't really ever felt like a day of Sabbath for us. And Saturdays are often a day where there's a lot going on. There's errands that need to be run. And because we have young children, I feel like that has almost been a little bit of an excuse for us to not fight for Sabbath and rest in our week, because it has just felt like, how could that even be possible? But recently, Jared and I have talked about it and have just been like, we are not getting enough rest in our lives, and it is still possible to put different habits and boundaries in place to create more of that for our family as a whole. What we do now is on Fridays from 9 to 5, it is Sabbath in our household. And basically what that means is we don't plan anything unless on the day of there is an opportunity for something that still feels like real rest to all of us and we feel good about doing it. We have nothing on the calendar. We put our phones away. We go technology free. It's a time for all of us to really connect as a family, for Jared and I to connect as husband and wife, to spend time with our kids, but also for us to worship together. We pull out the guitar, we sing together, we do Bible study together, we pray together as a family. And that day of rest, even though we still have like 3 kids, 3 and under, with us the whole day, has just felt so good and so rejuvenating for us, and almost as if the Holy Spirit has just even kind of honored our attempt to have a real Sabbath with young kids, because coming out of it week over week, we have felt that we have found rest in that day, to the point where now I feel like we really look forward to our Fridays every single week, and we just know that that time of rest is coming. And so it may not sound like much, it's not an entire day. It's just a way that we've been able to make steps towards prioritizing rest as a family, and I feel like we are really going to see the benefit of that as our kids get older as well. And speaking of rest across the board, I just find that it creates more opportunities to do things that I love. So I have been back in my Kindle era. I kind of left the Kindle world for a couple of months in the summer. I don't know why. I just like didn't really pick it up. I am now just ready for all of the cozy fall and winter reads. So I would love to hear any recommendations that you guys have. I had a bunch of people recommend the book The Nightingale to me. I am probably only like 45 pages in, but I am hooked on this. I've been reading it the last couple nights just before I fall asleep until literally my eyes cannot stay open any longer. If you struggle to fall asleep at night, you've got to get a Kindle. I don't know what it is, but it's like the best way to wind down after a long day, especially because I can still have all the lights off and I can keep the screen light really low on the Kindle, and it's not like emanating blue light or anything like that. It's just like my favorite way to wind down before bed. So I have been loving this book, and I am open to any other book recommendations. I do love a good like spiritual growth or faith-based book, but I'm also just kind of into some of the fiction stuff right now and having just like a fun kind of world to look forward to diving back into when I read. I will say that I am not a fan of reading the spicy content. It's just like not my fave. So I'm looking for recommendations of good fiction books that spice levels are real low on. And if you guys have any of those, drop them down below, because I am building my fall and winter reading list. But it is coming up on 4 p.m. over here, and we are going to have people over soon. So I am going to wrap this vlog up here. I hope that you guys enjoyed coming along for a cozy few days in my life. I also wanted to remind you that if you are interested in checking out Organic Basics, that I do have a code with them. So all you have to do is head to the link in my description box and use the code BethM10 at checkout to get 10% off your entire order. So thank you so much again to Organic Basics for working with me on this video. Thank you guys so much for watching and being here. I love you all so much. I hope that you are having the coziest fall, and until my next video, I'm praying for you guys, and I will see you soon.